Hello, BookTube, and welcome back. I can't make out whether my camera is, well, my phone is tilting towards the left a bit, my left. I don't know whether it's just my eyes, but it's driving me insane. To the left, to the left. I'm going to find that distracting all the way through this video. So I was in the little book room and I've just managed to put all the Discworld stuff up. So I've been sorting things out again, and I've made room, and I've bought extra shelf down there this time to put all the non-fiction that was on that shelf. So I thought I might do another bookshelf tour. I think the last one I did, Tolkien, and I said after Tolkien it would be the classics. So I pointed up there because that's where the books are. They're up in the gods, they're really high. And rather than me getting a step ladder, and clinging for dear life onto the shelf like Jack and Rose on the Titanic, I thought I might as well just bring the books down to my level. I like to live on the edge of danger sometimes, but not for books. So I grabbed the usual 10 and brought them down, and I'll probably do about say 15 more up there. So I'll do it in two parts. So first 10, you'll probably know all of these, and maybe one you're not too sure on. And I think with the rest of them, so they're fairly well-known classics. So let's begin. Might as well begin at the start. Why not? This and the next book, because they're both tied together, is probably one of the books that took me the longest to read. And all these books are Penguin cloth-bound classics. So if you're interested in buying any of them, because you like the cover, that's what they are. So the first one is the Iliad, and by Homer, and the reason everybody knows. If you don't know, really old Greek stories, the long poems, the epic poems. So the best way to tackle these kind of books is to break them down into just chunky cancers, or find a way to get it down and trying to digest it that way rather than just trying to read the whole thing all the way through, because I can't do it. People out there probably can do it like that, but I certainly can't do it. And it's well worth reading because there is great literate merit in these books. So this is about the Trojan War. So it's all blood and sex, isn't it? Come on, it's Greek, and it's all the usual characters that you expect. Paris, Helen, the main fella, Achilles, Zeus and Hera. Just getting into domestics, and humanity's got to put up with it. Everybody knows the Trojan War, Helen of Troy and all that. And like I said, a lot of people are put off in reading the Iliad for reasons, because it is epic poem. It is an epic poem, but as I said, it's well worth reading. Just take them down into smaller samples. But like also the Odyssey by Homer, which is another epic poem. And I probably enjoy this more than I enjoy the Iliad. I also like the cover here as well. And I think that the film with what's his face is in there. It comes out next year. I think the Odyssey, doesn't it? What's the actor's name? Oh, lost my balance. It's not Chris Pine. Chris Pine is. It's the other fella, Ben Affleck's mate. So the Odyssey is basically a journey, isn't it, of Odysseus on his way back home, and he's got to fight all sorts of like mythic creatures, and the whole moral tale of Odysseus himself. And I do, not only because it's smaller than the Iliad, so it's much more forgiving. But yeah, I like the tale of Odysseus better, trying to get home, and fighting his way all the way to that point. Really enjoyable book. I did like the Odysseus, even though it's a battler. It's a battler to get through because of the epic style of it. Okie dokie. So where are we going to jump to next? Let's go to a children's book, eh? So this is you can't see it, this is The Little Prince, Little Stars and Moon. I can never remember the author's name. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, is it? I don't know. Jedi reflexes. I don't know whether I'm actually saying that right, but this is a child's book, and it's got like nice little drawings on it, and it's about a pilot crane crashes. His plane crashes in a desert, and he meets and talks to a young boy who tells the pilot all about his adventures, and talks to different people, like a businessman who claims that he owns all the stars. Now, it's basically little tales, little moral tales. You know, it's a good bedside reading book to read to your kids at night. The Little Prince, really, really well done. And I think that's great. Well, little look as well, Little Stars and Moons for the Little Prince, and it's a fairly enjoyable children's book of its time as well. I think might be over. Is it 100 years old now? I think it is over. 1984. Who doesn't know this one? Oh, look at that cover as well. The eyes, very, very famous. George Orwell. Winston works in the Ministry of Truth, isn't it? Yeah, where he finds love with Julia and makes friends with my brain fart. What's his name? I haven't got his name, but the name of the actor who's playing Odysseus is Matt Damon. So I remember his name in 3-4 minutes time. But yeah, the world's separated into like 3 different empires, isn't it? And they're continuously at war, and it's all these countries or empires are, you know, fascistic. It's very much Stalinist Russia, and no one can trust each other, and everyone's being watched. Very, very applicable for today. I think everyone should read 1984. It is good. It deserves its accolades. And that's 1984. Read it. I'll remember that name, I'm telling you now. Where I'm going to jump to now. Let's go to Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I don't know what it is about this shade of blue, but it always reminds me of doctor's surgeries or doctor's waiting rooms. I've no idea, but every time I see this colour, boom, I think of being in the doctor's. Yeah, there's typical Jane Austen. There's 2 sisters. It's Marianne. It's Marianne and Eleanor, isn't it? Yeah, and it's all about Marianne falling in love with somebody she's not really supposed to, and then Eleanor having her own romantic entanglements and all that kind of confusion. That's why it's called Sense and Sensibility. You know, keeping up appearances, all that kind of old British world stuff. You know, fairly well enjoyable. It's not my favourite Jane Austen. Excuse me. No, Pride and Prejudice is not even my favourite Jane Austen. I think Persuasion is my favourite. But I think it's fairly well done. I did like Sense and Sensibility. And if you like Jane Austen, if you've not read Sense and Sensibility, what's the matter with you? Go away and pick it up. Okie dokie, where are we going to jump to next? Very, very famous, massive book. It's Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. Again, does this book, I mean, look at the size of that book. I mean, I know I was digging the Odyssey, the Iliad and the Odyssey before because of difficulty in reading. This is a slog to get through because some of the parts in this book, you're like, why am I even reading about this? When he starts talking about the sewer system and all, it's like, oh, come on, this is painful. But everybody probably knows this more now from the musical Les Miserables, more than the actual book itself. I mean, the book pretty much follows, the stage show pretty much follows what's in the book anyway. It's all Jean Valjean and his escape from the law and he's just trying to be a good person and a member of society while keeping Fantine's child safe. Colette, is it Colette? Um, while he's being endlessly pursued by Javier, the police officer. And all this is in the backdrop of the French Revolution as well. Would I suggest reading it? Yes, I always suggest reading book, but prior warning, it's a tough book to get through, just for the sheer density of it. Some parts of it, you're like, why are you even writing about this? But beautiful language, beautiful language. Next one, I'm going to go to an American classic, which I didn't really enjoy. This is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Again, another incredibly famous book about Captain Abraham's absolute obsession of hunting down the monster that is Moby Dick. This is fairly okay. I guess one of my main problems again with this book is that I had with Les Mis, and like, why am I reading about this? the whole the writings of the fishing and ropes and all that kind of stuff, like zoned out. But there is some good point. I can't talk today. I've just come back from a run, so I'm a bit like, so look at me finding excuses because I can't speak. But Moby Dick is, it's okay. Go and pick it up. I mean, it does have its problems. I think that's probably, isn't it over in the States called like a kind of a Marmite book over there, because you either like it or you don't. I'm in the middle somewhere. I understand the points what both sides make, and would I? If you like classics, I'll recommend it to you. But if you're not that interested in reading any sort of classical work, give Moby Dick a miss. Not like the next three. The next three, I suggest reading any of them. So the first one is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. Look at all the jellyfish there. I really enjoy that cover. And Jules Verne's probably known as like the father of science fiction. So, what's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? Again, is another famous one about this commercial, Armageddon's going on. There's sinking of loads of ships globally. So, I can't remember the man's name who goes out and tries to find the monster, and then he finds out that it's a submarine captained by Nemo. Is it Nautilus? I think it is Nautilus, isn't it? And he's basically, he's the monster. And they go on all sorts of like scientific expeditions. They go to Atlantis and they see big corals and all that kind of crazy stuff on their way. And they find more about why Captain Nemo is like wanting to live down under the sea, as Sebastian would say. This is a great work of, how fiction is, and a really classic. You should read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's really, really good. Next one, another chunker. This is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Another, I can never say his name right, is it Tolstoy? Whatever. So, another absolute brick of a book, but unlike Moby Dick and Les Miserables, this book is amazing. I do love War and Peace. So it's all about the French attack on Russia in 1812, and it's principally three characters, isn't it? There's Andrea, the count's son who wants his inheritance, and what's the other man's name? Pierre is the count's the former count's son, isn't he? And Andrea, who is the other fella who leaves his family and wants to join the war against Napoleon. And there's Natasha, who's the third main lead, who's like the love interest of both of them. This is there's so many. Oh, it looks at peasantry. It looks at the Tsars, the higher ups. So you can see the whole of the Russian war against the French in every kind of sense, from way up on high and way on down low, and soldiers and all sorts. War and Peace is one of my favourites of the classics. It's a really, really, really well done classic, and I think you should read it. And the last one I think everyone should read, and this is probably one you've never really heard of before. This is Monkey King by Wu Shang-en, and I believe it's got another name on it as well. I think it's Journey to the West. I think that's the other name to it. And this is very much in the style of Don Quixote. This is a kind of comic book, and the Monkey King is just like this mischievous immortal who can practically do anything, and he's exiled from heaven by Buddha, and he's buried under the mountain. And when he finally gets out of there to seek redemption, with his two companions, the Pigsy, the flying pig, and who's the depressant? Is it the depressant like sandworm thing? I can't remember it, but yeah, there's two friends who help him like fight different mythical things to get redemption, so we can go back into the land of Buddha. Very, very comic, very, very good. This is a good, and it's about 300 pages as well, and it really, really well done. Pick this up for a classic. I mean, I think it's 500 years old now, and it's not like people think 500 years. They think like Elizabethan, kind of stuff. I can't really relate it to it, but this is just comedy and silly all the way through, and I think you'll enjoy it. So I strongly suggest Monkey King or A Journey to the West. So that's 10 classics of the the God shelves, and I've got about 15 more to go after this, or the penguin cloth bound variety, and I'll probably make another video in a minute. See you in a second, YouTube or BookTube, whatever.